I've been building this Shaker Ladderback Armchair in the last couple weeks in the shop. I started out with the model of the chair, but really I had not done the modeling of the seat. And the biggest job in the shop was actually the weaving of this ash splint seat. I cut the ash and the thickness was about 1/16 of an inch. And here is a picture of where I stand now on the finishing. Now the way I decided to go ahead and try to model up the chair seat, not that because I needed it, I guess because it was a challenge to do that. And first of all, I created this plane, this face, that would be the boundary of the woven seat. And I began to sort out how I was going to create the splints, each ash splint. And all of these splints were made up of one single component that looks like this, which is an over and under scenario. I used a 3/3 in the weaving of the seat, so the half width is for covering 3 5/8 width splints. And then I also created these end rings that carry the splint from the top surface to the bottom surface. There are actually 2 woven plates, but in SketchUp I only need to create one, and then I can copy the lower plate later. So once I had that module for the splint, I began to create this is a weft, a W-E-F-T, weft, the first weft that goes from front to back, and it's made up of those modules of components that I showed earlier. Here's 1, 2, and 3, and then to fit I had to adjust the size of one of those modules to actually come out at the end and move over the edge of the seat perimeter. So that creates a full weft, but the warps are what I started with next, and that's the side-to-side splint, and it is under the first row here is under, and actually the next 2 rows will be under, because as I said, I'm doing a 3/3 weave. The next stage of my modeling was to create the second and third wefts. Here's the second one, which is shifted down 1 width of a splint. So it's shifted down about 5/8 of an inch, and then the next one is shifted down 5/8. And once I had those 3 wefts, then I created also the other 2 warps that would help me to fill out the rest of the seat. And now you can see the weave begin to show up where these pieces cross. And you can see the 3/3 at the front. Now I can copy these wefts 3 at a time and shift them over 3 widths and then do a flip along the blue axis and create the next 3 rows. And now you can see how the design of the weaving will continue throughout the seat width with this sloping 3/3 pattern. And here are more of the wefts that I've created, shifting each one down, but copying them 3 at a time and flipping. Those are easy because all of the weft components are the same, the common, well, 3 different ones that are copied. Now the warps are a little bit harder because each one is a different length. And I had to adjust the ends to fit, although I started by copying 3 and flipping just like in the other splints. But there's much more work involved with the warps to get that fitting on the side lengths. So eventually I had all the components made and created the assembly of the seat, which involved a bottom surface that's woven and all these loops at the fronts and sides and back, and the plate at the top is equal to the plate at the bottom, although the bottom plate is flipped on the blue axis. This assembly then is ready to install in the chair. The chair is at a slight angle from front to back, about 2.5 degrees cant. So I slope the seat construction here and fit it within the construction of the chair. It's a difficult project and one that I really didn't need to do, but I wanted to have that challenge.